Cleo, you're one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube right now.
Cleo Abram's rise took the YouTube world by storm. In a niche that's both incredibly competitive and saturated, she didn't just hit 1 million subscribers, but she did it faster than anyone else. When I first looked into why she was successful, I thought it was either because of her animations or it was because she was one of the few women in the space. But to my surprise, it was none of those things. What really set Cleo apart was way more simpler and something anyone could do, but for some reason no one was doing. So let's dive into what that secret is, starting with every YouTube guru's favorite topic, retention. Retention is incredibly important, but most creators look at it from their point of view. They think if I keep the viewer's attention for a long time, the retention will go up, which means the video will go viral and I'll finally be a successful YouTuber. They're looking at it from their point of view, but what they need to do is ask themselves, what will the viewer get if they stay on till the end of the video? And that is what Cleo does so amazingly. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. If you look at this video title, what the viewer gets is an informative video on quantum computing, which may be good enough to get them to click on the video, but it's not good enough to get them to stay on till the end. So Cleo adds this part just 1 minute into her video.
To show you how these crazy computers might actually impact your life, and sooner than you think.
That sentence changed the video from an informative video on quantum computing to how the viewer's future will be impacted by quantum computing, how their career will change thanks to quantum computing. The video goes from an interesting, fun video to a video that will give the viewer a glimpse into their own future. Cleo brings in this POV shift by making a promise to the viewer at the start of every video. The promise is that if whatever the video is about comes true, then that could be huge for the audience. And that's how her huge if true show format helps build retention.
And what is huge if true about this story? That's the major change for me that's different is in order to make this part of the show that I make, it has to be meaningful and transformative for millions of people in the future. Like, why does this matter for people?
By asking how your video will matter to your audience, you have flipped the script and made the video about them instead of making it about you. When you tie your audience's future to the ending of the video, they end up staying on the video for longer because it actually matters to them. So if you're in the make money online space and your video is titled how to make an extra 10K a month, you can add your huge if true moment by adding this line into the video. You'd be able to retire your mom from the minimum wage job she works by watching this video till the end. Another great way Cleo gets her audience to stay on till the end, aka improve retention, is by giving your videos purpose. Most creators make videos based on what's trending or what's hot. But if you can tie a personal reason as to why you're making the video, that gives your video purpose and it comes off way more genuine. And here's a really good example.
Like that artificial womb episode that I mentioned happened to occur during a time period when I had to get surgery on my own, on my left ovary to preserve my fertility. And I just sort of put the surgery in the video. I was like, I care about this because I'm struggling with this right now. And so the idea of artificial wombs seems great to me right now because I am so worried about my own fertility. Like that's a
Amazing.
Wonderful, like if you have a personal story, great.
By tying her own personal story to the video, it feels incredibly authentic. In an age where creators fake everything, people want to watch stories that are real and relatable. So for this video, you're not just watching it to see how it could be huge if true for yourself, but you're watching to see how it could be huge if true for Cleo and how it would impact her ability to be a mother. So if you're a cooking YouTuber, instead of just making another trending recipe, maybe make a recipe that your mom used to make. You can go back to your hometown, sit down with your mom, and while making it, you can talk about how life really sucked, but everything would change when you would have this dish. That kind of personal story helps you build a bond with your audience, and they'll stick around to the end, not just for themselves, but for you.
A good video story to me is like, you know what a good video is if you and I sat down for coffee and I was telling you a story about something interesting, and the moment when I need to pull out like a napkin and draw a diagram or show you something on my phone and pause it and be like, you see this? Like, that's a good video. Otherwise, it should just be an essay because that's much easier to write.
So that drawing on the napkin that she's talking about is what's called a key visual, and she uses that across every single one of her videos. In her video on fracking for clean energy, this is her key visual.
Imagine if you cut the earth and then you're seeing the different methods on like a sort of side cut of the earth. And that you're seeing it first for fracking, and you're understanding how fracking draws oil and natural gas out of the ground, it's a key visual that keeps returning over and over again.
You see, a lot of times viewers lose focus and they forget what you said at the beginning of the video. By returning the key visual over and over again, you are reinforcing the crux of the story. And this gives the viewer better context to understand the video. And before you think that these key visuals involve fancy walk style animations that you probably cannot do, you need to watch this bit right here.
The key visual is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it has to be, in my case, is often a chart or like a demonstration or an example. But it can be, something that you're building like Simone, or, a product like MKBHD, or just you like Emma.
And even in her own video, she shows us that key visuals don't have to be animated. Like in her video on supersonic airplanes, the key visual is this Lego plane that she keeps building throughout the video. And in her video on wage gap, her key visual is rock climbing.
Like the basically wage gap between men and women, just a clip, but like having a rock climber do like a blue wall and a pink wall and have them side by side, and you can see. And you know why it's so good too is because they always talk about career progression in terms of like, it's like rock climbing, it's not linear, like you're gonna go left, you're gonna go right and stuff. Like, it was such a powerful visual to see you side by side with the person, and that kind of stuff just sticks with people.
And that's another reason why key visuals are so great. They help your audience remember things way better than if you explain it without a visual. Most of us are visual learners, and these visuals just help us remember things better. By adding a huge if-through moment, you have drastically improved retention. And by adding key visuals, you've broken down complex ideas into really simple concepts. But the best way to make viral content is to look for what the audience is thirsting for and then give them that. So how do you find something the audience is thirsting for? Well, you look at what Cleo did and you just do the same. Cleo saw that most tech journalism was negative and dark. Even the magazine covers were all black, and the shows that spoke about the future of tech were all negative and bleak, like Black Mirror. So to set herself apart, she decided to do the exact opposite.
The line that I have in my head is to be like Black Mirror, but the opposite, and journalism. Like visions of the world in the future that don't suck, and how we could get there.
By making optimistic tech videos, Cleo gave her audience two things. One, she gave them something they weren't getting anywhere else. And two, she gave them something they genuinely wanted. So how do you do what she did? It's really simple. You just look at what the mainstream creators in your space are doing, and then you do the exact opposite. When everyone was sick and tired of people selling courses in the business niche, in came Hormozi with his now infamous line,
"I have nothing to sell you."
And he blew up. When most channels wouldn't let you talk for 10 minutes without interrupting you, in came Andrew Callahan, letting his audience speak for as long as they wanted, and then he blew up. By the way, if you like the way this video is edited and you want my team to edit your TikTok, YouTube shorts, or podcasts, this is my website. Reach out to me. I would love to work with you. Okay, so the whole point of this video is to give you guys actionable advice. But how are you going to get these massive collabs? Cleo has collabs with NASA and F1. There's no way your small channel is going to get these massive collabs. Except, maybe there is.
If you're a smaller channel, how do you get someone as big as NASA to appear on your YouTube channel? Like, how do you land that?
I've been like so pleasantly surprised by the unbelievable generosity people show to people that they see as doing something really cool. If you have a YouTube channel that is like perfect for someone and they feel like you are their people, especially, someone doing research on quantum physics and you're a channel that is like explaining quantum physics to kids, like people do what they do because they love what they do. And it just like, especially someone who's doing something really complex that other people are not fully understanding, like they want to explain it.
And in this podcast, Cleo gives us her script to get these massive collabs. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to a massive YouTuber using this script and get them to collaborate with me. And that massive YouTuber is none other than Cleo Abram. So this is the email I've written using her script. Here's how it goes. Hey Cleo, I spent the last 45 days diving into all your videos and 4 podcasts you've watched, and here's the video I've made. It's inspired by Paddy Galloway's style and focuses on the strategies you've used to grow on YouTube. Here's my ask. Could you watch the video and film your reaction? It could be as simple as a Loom recording of you watching, pausing, and sharing your thoughts. My video is around 7 minutes long, and your reaction is likely around 4 to 5 minutes, so you could get this whole thing done in under 15 minutes, and then I could share that reaction on my channel titled Cleo Abrams reacted to my video. Alternatively, we could do a call and you could tell me where I went right or wrong, and I could post that recording on my channel. Thanks so much. And then my name, Ashley. And then towards the end, I say, as you know, all it takes is one video for a channel to blow up. And this video could be just that for me. 15 minutes of effort from your end could make my dream of becoming a YouTuber come true. All right, so this is the email that I've written. In her podcast, she talks about how the first few lines need to be personalized, and I feel I've done that when I say that I've literally made a video on her that's as personalized as you can get. So after this, I have my ask, where again it's to watch the video. And again, I just feel like I hope I'm not asking a lot from her, right? It's just to spend some time on the video, so hopefully she has that time. Again, you have to understand, I don't have a massive audience myself, right? So I can't go ahead and ask her for a whole interview or something like that. So I thought that this would kind of work, where she doesn't have to spend a lot of effort. Also, she can do it whenever she wants to, right? Like an interview, she has to schedule it in. This, she could do it at the end of the day whenever she has some time, so that's the idea behind that. And the ROI, right? The return on investment for her is that it could make one person's dream come true. So yeah, that's my script. I'm gonna hit send, and if this works and she actually sends me a reaction video, I'm gonna post it on my channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell notifications on.